Everybody is built different, but we already knew that. But how are you built, and how does that affect your training and your maximal strength? My name is Dr. Dralexstrahle, and if you're looking to get strong and stay healthy, make sure to subscribe to the channel. In this video, we're going to break down how to take body measurements, how to determine your leverages, and what that means for your training. A strong lifter is continually working on their weak points, but when it comes to the season, into prep, into the actual meet itself, they know how to utilize their strengths. So any of the recommendations I give, don't try these a week before you meet, try these in the off season. So let's take a look. There's 7 different things we need to measure. And the first one is your height. This is simply how tall are you. The next one to measure is your leg length, and this one's from your ASIS down to your medial malleolus. What does it actually mean? That is your hip bone in the front down to your ankle on the inside. Next, we're going to measure the tibial length. If you bend your knee just a little below the kneecap, you're going to feel a little ridge, and that is the top of your tibia. Measure from there down to your ankle. And then in order to get your femur length, subtract your tibial length from your leg length. That's all the measurements for the lower body. Let's go back to the upper body. Next, we're going to look at your wingspan, which is fingertip to fingertip. Now we want our humerus or our arm length, which will be the shoulder to the elbow. In order to get this, touch the outside of your shoulder and go up. That first bony ridge you get, that's your AC joint, and that's where you're going to measure from. There down towards your elbow. If you feel the bump of your elbow come a little more inside, and you should feel 2 little bumps. The top bump is going to be your humerus and the bottom bump is going to be your ulna. Then to measure your ulna, do that second bump down to your wrist. That is all 7 measurements. We are done. See you on the next video. No, I'm just kidding. There's more to it. We're going to look at if you're relatively short or long arm or leg lifter. Let's take a look to figure out what you are now. If your wingspan is less than 1 centimeter longer than your height, then you have short arms. If your wingspan is 1 to 5 centimeters longer than your height, then you have average arms. And if it's more than 5 centimeters longer, then you have long arms. So what do we do for those average arm people? Well, we need to look at how long your ulna is compared to your humerus. So if your ulna is more than 85% the length of your humerus, then you have a long ulna, short arms. If your ulna is less than 84% the length of your humerus, that means you have a short ulna, long humerus, long arm. So what does it mean to be a long arm lifter? You're probably great at deadlift, probably not so great at pressing. So the key for you in the off season is to do a lot more pressing. Bench press, shoulder press, overhead press, dumbbell press, anything that says something press, you should probably throw into your training. You're also going to need more shoulder stability. And I do have a video on some different ideas of shoulder stability, which you can watch after this one. There's a link down in the description. But it's going to be important for you as a long arm lifter to focus on shoulder stability. Now, if you're a short arm lifter, you're probably pretty good at bench and you probably struggle a little more on the deadlift. So what you'll likely want to do in your off season is focus on your back. Any type of row is going to be your best friend. Let's dive into the legs. If your legs are less than 43% of your height, you have short legs. If your legs are 44 to 47% of your height, you're at the average. And if they're more than 47% of your height, you have long legs. Again, breaking down the average group, if your tibia is 84% or less, that means you have a relatively long femur, which means you have long legs. If your tibia is more than 85% of the length of your femur, you have a short femur and short legs. What to do if you're a long leg lifter? You probably have a strong posterior chain. That's going to be your back, your glutes, and your hamstrings. So what you need to do is work front side, which is your quads and your core. Different ways to work your quads is going to be front squats, goblet squats, zercher squats, lunges, safety squat bar, or even a narrow squat stance. Any of those will work. If you're a short leg lifter, you probably have strong quads, meaning you need to work your posterior chain, which is again your back, glutes, and hammies. Different ways to do that would be RDLs, stiff leg deadlift, reverse hypers, good mornings, hamstring curls, things like that. Another good idea for your short leg lifters is to not lift in squat shoes during the off season and keep those only for your season and in prep. Reason being is that an elevated heel shifts the focus to your quads, but we want to use every advantage we have, so we should probably be wearing those during the meet, especially if you have stiff ankles. It's likely you're not the perfect long or short arm or leg lifter, and that's totally okay, but use this information and play with it and see how it can help address your weak points. If you are a long arm lifter, check out this video on how to get better at the bench. If you are a short arm lifter, check out this video how you can get better at the deadlift. I'll catch you on the next one.